Hey, Jake Bresson here with Bresson Painting. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to paint the wood trim and the mutton bars, all the good stuff on the exterior of your windows. Our very first step when we get into painting windows is going to be to clean them up as best we can. So we're going to take our putty knife, if you have a 5-in-1, whatever kind of scraper you want to use to just remove all the excess paint. Now I've already gone through and scraped this window as best I could. We'll take a little dust brush, just an old junk paint brush. We're just going to take and sweep up here, clean it up. And then I've got a little vacuum that I'm going to bring up here and just suck this up. You're going to want to knock off all the loose edges here on your mutton bars and anywhere where the glazing is failing. This window here had quite a bit of failed glazing in there. So we just go over that with caulk then and try to make it as neat and smooth as possible. We will come back here with a razor and clean these edges up a little bit, but that's about as good. You know, you just want to make sure you get a nice good seal on that. And you can check out this window over here right next to it. Didn't have much at all. There was a little bit there, and all the other mutton bars were in really good shape. You want to make sure that you have all your caulking done as best as possible on windows, especially of your home. This is where it matters. There are storm windows that are going to go back in here in the frame, but you just want to make sure everything's sealed up. You want to make sure that caulking is going to in there nice and good, seated, so that it's going to hold these windows in place. Since this is kind of the modern way to do it now, caulking seems to hold up a little bit better than replacing glazing in windows. That stuff just dries up and gets so brittle and chips right off. Caulk is nice; it stays nice and flexible over time, especially in our climate here in Northeast Ohio. This is a terrific way to do this. It allows for expansion and contraction with all the changing in the seasons. And once we got all that done, all the prep work's done, we've got them scraped down, we've got them caulked and cleaned up, we're going to start putting on paint. And we like to use a paint and primer in one. It's a product actually from Sherwin called Duration Exterior. We usually do all of our exterior work in satin finishes. Satin gives it nice cleanability and it weathers really nicely as well. I got my cut bucket here from Worcester Brush. And I've got a nice little angled sash brush. It's a thin angled sash brush. You can pick these up down at Sherwin-Williams. I personally like to use Worcester products. This is just a Sherwin-Williams brush, I think they're just called the thin angle sash brushes. They're the Sherwin-Williams line. They just lay out paint really nicely, and it makes it a lot easier to work with than using the brush I usually use, which is a big 2-inch 2.5-inch angled sash brush is what I usually use. So when you're painting your windows, if you're a DIYer, you want to take note. Another thing that you need to be very careful of and have lots of patience for when you're doing windows is all these little corners that you're going to have to get in and things that you're going to have to work around. Again, we don't like to paint in either. The storms on this home, it's been done to the point where these storms are not going to come out without a fight. Let me see if I can get that in focus a little bit better. We actually will run caulking all along this storm here, clean it up as best we can, just for the simple fact that these storms will not come out without a fight. They've been caulked in and painted in so many times over the years. Alright, you guys, I hope you liked this video. I could show you me painting the rest of this window, but to be honest with you, it's not really going to help you much. It's just going to take patience and time on your part when you get out the brush to do some of this brush work. You definitely want to be aware of where your brush is at when you are working on a home such as this that has brick right up next to where you're painting. You want to be careful that you're not going to slop paint all over your nice brick. You want to keep that brick nice and clean. If this video helped you guys out in any way, don't forget to click like down below and subscribe for more updates to my channel. Thank you.